Hey, if you're looking for some help with back or sciatic pain, you're worried that it's getting worse, and you've tried pills, creams, gadgets, gels, months of traditional physical therapy, lots of chiropractic adjustments, you name it, and it just hasn't worked. Or you're just really diligent and you want to find help today, I want to welcome you to the website. I just want to have a conversation today with you and talk about why back pain happens and ultimately what you can do to protect yourself and how you can get the best advice and treatment moving forward. So I'm going to basically just tell you a little bit about me. Basically, I started this practice here to help folks in their 40s, their 50s, and their 60s that were struggling with back pain and sciatic pain get back their active lives. And while doing that, avoid the pills, the injections, and surgeries. I want to help those folks get back to walks with their spouses, get back to playing with the grandkids, get back to family vacations, and really just get back to the simple everyday things like enjoying just your favorite recliner. So basically, again, I started this practice up to help those kind of folks. So much so that I actually wrote the book on treating back pain. So basically, the book and what I do in the practice here all has to do with getting folks that are active, suffering back pain, their lives back. The first question usually folks have is, why does my back pain last so long? Everyone wants to know, and basically it's because we don't decide to do something about it. We're either frightened, we're very nervous, we're just told to rest by our MD. That's extremely common to hear from folks in our clinic. A very well-meaning local physician that you go to tells you that it's your age. And if I hear that one more time, I'm going to scream. Not too far behind, it's to just take the pills and see how it goes. Not too far behind that, it's come back in 6 months and just see if it gets better. This is a huge problem, and it's actually a huge reason why many folks suffer with back issues longer than they really should. So if that's happened to you, I want you to know that we hear that all the time. And we often hear from people who 5 years after being told by their MD to do nothing and just to accept their back pain, still have it. They were told that it was an age thing, it's a rest thing, and they should just do some exercise. We often hear 5 or 10 years later that the folks that took this advice, nothing changed. So the primary reason people are just very skeptical, nervous, and they're just getting really bad advice years ago. Another reason includes trying something like exercise. It's very easy for a physician to say, just do some exercise. And it's very easy to think that if your friend gave you some exercise and it fixed her back, that'll cure your back as well. The reality is that these exercises done wrong can often make the back worse. Even going for a walk, if you have a very weak, stiff, mechanical lower back problems and you go for a walk longer than 10 to 15 minutes, it's a very good chance that you'll make the problem worse. Let's take sitting, for example, too. Another common mistake people make is to think that if they have back pain, they should just sit down. Now, if you have sciatica, it's going to make the problem worse. Let's say you have stenosis. Stenosis is a problem that worsens when you stand. And you may think that the relief actually happens when you stand up, but 10 to 15 minutes later, the problem actually gets worse and you find yourself having to lean over a park bench or a kitchen countertop to get some relief. And the problem with this is that it gives you temporary relief, but it doesn't really solve the real problem. We find this here at Sisson Associates. Folks do try things that just give temporary relief, such as pills and the rest. And you just hope that tomorrow the pain will go away. And unfortunately, that rarely happens, and the cycle continues. So first, what we try to do for folks is explain why the problem happened, why it stuck around for so long, and then we figure out what needs to be done going forward. By the way, it's almost always something that can be done going forward. Just because an MD said that it's your age and you need to accept it and just try these pills, it doesn't mean you should rule yourself out of finding a real solution. This story we hear dozens of times daily. We help and serve hundreds of people on a monthly basis, and that's a typical story we hear from someone suffering with back issues. So If you were ever told that you need to just rest, nothing can be done, it's your age, it's a genetic thing, I can promise you it's a load of BS. There is nearly always something that you can do, even if it's just a 10, 20, or heck, even a 30% improvement in the quality of life. You can just imagine how much better your life could be if you booked a visit in my clinic and you were able to get, say, a 20% improvement in the quality of life, which meant you could get rid of those painkillers, stop relying on the pills that are rotting your stomach, stop worrying about that surgery that's coming up in a few months if you don't figure this thing out. You would be able to maintain your independence, get out of the bed in the morning, get your socks and shoes on, and you'd be able to lean over to even get something on the floor like a TV remote, which maybe you couldn't do right now because leaning over is so painful. Whatever your story is, it's a very good chance that we've heard of it and we know how to help you. So we would start by helping you understand why your issues happened, what caused it, and would obviously go on with some treatment to give you a plan. We'd be able to give you a thorough course of treatment that would be able to take you to your goal of living a more active, pain-free, independent life. If any of those things sound familiar to you and you want an outcome that leads to less pills, not worrying about having to take painkillers, not having to worry about your back being so sore every time you stand up, getting to the point of not worrying about waking up every morning and your back being just as bad as it was the previous day. All of these things people worry about and are frightened about, we hear them daily. If you're living with that, with back pain, we can absolutely help you. We would invite you to talk to us. Just have a conversation with one of our top back specialists. We have an option for you to book a telephone consultation with them. Just ask your questions. Ask anything your MD hasn't given you information on. We understand that MDs don't have the time to really spend with you. The typical session with your MD may last only 6 minutes, but the difference with our practice is that we'll spend at least 20 minutes with you over the phone free of charge. If you need that, that option is there for you. Ask any questions about your back pain. Ask anything that concerns you. Even ask if we've helped people like you in the past. At the end of that telephone consultation, you think we're a good fit and we're the right clinicians for you, then you can ask to become a client of ours. Alternatively, if you feel like you're ready to go and we're the right physical therapy clinic for you, you can start by filling out the form or calling us and asking about cost and availability. And if it works for you, then we'll get you scheduled in the next few days and we'll get moving to get rid of that back pain for good. Or if you're very nervous and skeptical because you've been let down by traditional physical therapy clinics in the past, and let's say another PT promised that they'd help you and they just didn't, then we have an option for you to start with. It's a free discovery session. I'd encourage you to take it if you're a little skeptical now, if you're holding back, if you're worried about making a big commitment and being let down by another provider. We've invented the discovery session for someone like you who has back pain, but is just a little bit skeptical, a little bit nervous about committing your time and your money moving forward. So we 100% understand that, and it's a story we hear all the time. Alternatively, we have a final option. It's a free report that's below the video. I've created this free report. It has many of the same tips within my back pain toolbox to help people with back pain. You can have that report for free. I just really want to help you make the right decision. That's really what we become famous for. We're very good physical therapists. That's not for doubting. But what makes us different from the rest is that we have time for you. We want to help you make the right decision. We want to make sure 100% that we are the right fit for you and that you are the right fit for us. So we've got free information we can give you first. We have the option of a free telephone consultation. We have an option of a free discovery session. And if you just need to fill out a form and ask about cost and availability, you can do that as well. So hopefully we get a chance to help and serve you. However you choose to start that relationship, we'll be very happy and grateful to have a chance to help you and finally get rid of that back pain of yours. And that's it for now. And hopefully I'll see you in the practice soon.